Alright, what's up YouTube? It's David back with another video on dipping. Today I'm going to be talking about how to start dipping if it's your first time, all that stuff for beginners, everything you need to know. Just like a general guide. So, first tip I'm going to give you is don't try something weird, whatever kind of flavor your friends tell you, oh, this is my favorite, oh, I like this. Best bet is going to be go with something like this. Skull Apple is one of my favorite fruit blends, but they got peach. I think they had cherry for a while. They got berry blend, citrus blend. It's all really good. But in honor of this video, I'm gonna be doing some apple blend for y'all. Smells so good. Alright, so when you start dipping, obviously most of y'all know, don't swallow ever. Start with something like that. Maybe even go so far as to start with pouches. You're having trouble keeping it together or something, start with pouches. A good one if you don't have any nicotine tolerance, like if you're not a smoker or something already. Skull makes this thing called Bandits. It's like half-size pouches. That's what my granddaddy dips. That's what I started out on. Shit, this is juicy. But try that. Skull is probably the best brand to start on because it has a slightly lower nicotine content. Then after that, you can move on up to Copenhagen and Grizzly. They're about the same. A lot of people say Kodiak and Longhorn. And what's that other brand? Some other brand. I can't think of it right now. All the, cheap $1.25 a can dips. They are good for starting because they make great flavor and all that. I've personally never tried it, so I can't tell you, but one of my friends tried Kodiak Grape, I think it was. I think it was Kodiak. I know it was grape, and he said it was just disgusting. But again, apple is a good one to start with because to me it tastes like someone left a little apple Jolly Rancher in a can of dip. Tastes good, smells good. It's a good thing to start with till you work your way up. For your first few dips till you get ready, you don't want to take a small one. I don't know why I have this over here, but just as a reference, something about the size of an earbud part that goes in your ear. Like that. Some people say like your thumbnail or something. Something about that size is a good one to start with if you're not doing pouches. Then do like me, I've worked up to a 3-finger hogger most of the time. Really, there's not a lot you can tell about how to start dipping. Just something you start doing. You learn the rituals. How to pack is something that I got a request to show, so I figured I'd put it in this video. There's the old time-honored method of just bump it on something. You can do let me shake it up. You can do the old timer pack, which is where you reach down in it. You open the can up. It's full, so I don't want to dump it out, but you'll open the can up and take your fingers and pack it down to the side, squeeze it all down to the side, and pack it by hand. But the more elegant way that's very popular now is hold it like this, middle finger and thumb around the edge. With this finger, just let it go limp, and then snap your wrist. That's what it'll look like full speed, or slowed down. But I am what they call a side packer, which means I hold it like this and let my finger bank on the side of it. It's a lot quieter, not as obnoxious, and I find it packs better that way. You can really pack it all into one little spot instead of just packing all over the other side of the can. But like I said, there's really not a whole lot to tell on how to start dipping, other than pick a fruity flavor to start, which brands are the best, how to pack, what size pinch. When you're starting, if you get sort of a head rush, start to feel dizzy, try standing up, walking around for a minute, because even now, been dipping for about a year now. Even now, if I put a big old hogger in and go lay on the couch and don't do anything, and I'll still get kind of sort of a buzz, get a little bit lightheaded. I enjoy the buzz. People who don't, they say they feel like they're about to throw up. I've never thrown up from dipping. Kind of wish I had. I maybe would have quit, but try getting up, walking around, because nicotine is a stimulant, and if you walk around, it won't affect you quite as much. If that doesn't help, or if you don't want to get up and walk around and hope that it works, you can just go ahead and hook it out, and swish your mouth out with water. But don't let people tell you you're a pussy or nothing for leaving it in 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes your first couple times. Hell, my first one I left in, it was one of the Bandits, like I said. I think I only left it in for 10 minutes my first time. If your friends are around you when you dip for your first few times, don't let them pressure you into trying to gut it and swallow juice, all that. It will make you sick. I still don't like to do it unless I've got those little Bandit pouches. Not because it burns or anything for me anymore. I just hate the taste, like having it go down my throat, and then for some reason whenever I swallow a dip spit I start burping and it tastes like shit. But it can make you throw up. That's one of the reasons I don't think I ever threw up, is I never gutted for like the first 2.5, 3 months. If you want to learn how to gut, take some drink with a strong taste, like Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Coke, something like that, and just a little bit of spit, and then take a big old swig of your drink. Then eventually a little bit more spit mixed in. Then try a little bit of spit with some water. Work your way up until you can just swallow it. It might, like when I was learning to do it with straight dip, not pouches, it took me 3 weeks to get to do it without gag reflex kicking in and all that. About threw up. Didn't, but I about did the first time I tried it. I had to learn for myself, learn the hard way to use a drink to learn it. Yeah. Really, I think that's it. Real quick, I pulled this out. I want to show my new knife that I found out in the yard. Found that just halfway buried in my yard. I saw that sticking up out of the ground. That little corner, pulled it up, polished it and all that. Little Winchester. Shit. It's kind of rusted on the blade. Nail file on that side. Damn. Little blade on that one. I gotta go soak it in Coke again. That pulls the rust off pretty good. So anyway, I think that's about it. I'm gonna cut this video off because I think I've covered everything. If not, if you got any questions, leave me a comment. Subscribe to me. I'm gonna try and make a lot more videos. I know it's been a couple weeks, but I'm gonna try to do some more real quick in the next few weeks. Hope to put out a bunch more. Anyway, leave me a comment, subscribe, and happy dipping.